Right, welcome back to the channel. Today we start the Triumph build. Big task ahead. Everything's in boxes. I need to sift through the boxes, find out exactly what I've got, what I haven't got. I've tried to do as much research as I can, but it'll be an ongoing as the project develops. So I picked up the Haynes manual. I've also got the replacement parts catalogue, which is basically all the fiche pictures. And thanks to Pippa and Ian, also have the Triumph workshop manual. So I should have enough information to actually start to work out what goes where, how this engine goes back together, and which bits I need to find to fit in which particular part, because it is quite a minefield of what parts are in what boxes, the bolts, the washers, screws, etc. So today we're going to start sifting through some of the boxes just to try and make sense of some of the parts and try and categorise them together as per the fiche pictures, so then I can get everything together in certain areas, so when the engine starts coming up to be actually put back together, which hopefully should be, hoping the next episode, but we'll see how we go. So with details like that, I need to find the studs, the bolts, the washers, etc. Also with the oil pump, again, everything together so I know exactly where it goes. This is going to be an exciting build. I am super excited about it. It's something that's totally out of my league in a way. I've always dreamed about doing something like this, and now I've got the opportunity. It's a real good time to get stuck in and rebuild a classic Triumph. So I say it's going to be a great journey, so keep following, keep liking, keep subscribing. So let's get some boxes up and start sifting through to see what we've got. So that's most of the bits. So the only bits are a plastic box which has got all gaskets in, and the white box which has got the actual crankcases in and a few engine covers. So the main components of the engine are basically in these boxes. A lot of it is actually labelled up already, but I still need to make sense of where these parts actually fit so I can familiarise myself with the engine itself. But then we do have a couple of boxes I've actually written on that one, because that's the bits I found miscellaneous, so I need to sift through that. Also I need to sift through this one as well. But most of the hard work's already been done with labelling up the boxes. So like I said earlier, when I do my own, obviously I take it apart, I know where everything goes. As you remember with the Z, I always use boards for all the case bolts. But when you're doing somebody else's disassembly to reassemble, it's slightly more tricky. One thing I did want to add, this is going to be a sympathetic restoration, basically. Build the engine, give it a clean. But other than that, I'm not going to touch too much of it, so it keeps its patina of an aged 50-year-old bike. But it will just have a clean, nothing will be polished, it will just be clean. So that's the look we're actually going for. So let's stop the chat and get into these boxes. So as I'm going through some of the boxes, some of them are already labelled, which is great, some aren't, so I'm labelling up as I go. Yeah, I was on the box, so we've got pistons and 2 sets of rings. So I'll clear some space so I can get the pistons. We need to find the crank. I've got the barrels here, the cylinder head is on the floor. We've got the valves in this box here, so I can start laying some bits out. But yeah, there's plenty to sift. So what I'm trying to find at the moment, found the barrels, gaskets are in the clear box, so I need to find these tubes. I know where the valves are, I know where the cylinder head is, that's already in a jig, keeping it flat. Need to find the 2 top rocker covers. So let me find as much of that I can, clear the bench for a bit and lay that bit out. So just by laying it out, it's actually starting to make sense. Obviously in there I've got all the head studs and the valve guides. So they need to be refitted. Valves in the correct order of what they go in. Again, they need to be cleaned up. Managed to find the exhaust clamp screws that go in. Working our way up to the valve guides and to the actual head. So actually laying it out like that, actually starting to come together of what we've actually got. Like I said, obviously gaskets are in separate box. But at least gives me an idea of layout of how it would go, basically up from the crank through to the barrels, cylinder head, valves, etc. Right, so to make it easier for me, I've just loosely put everything on. So you've got 4 main head bolts that go through with 4 big bolts. So I'm just working it out as I go at the moment, so I've got a rough, it gives me a picture in my mind how things go together. So the carburetor manifold, so everything is going to be loose. can also see if anything's missing. Right, I'm missing a washer from the bottom corner of the carb manifold. Beautiful carb. Again, will just be a loose fit, just so it gives me an idea of how everything goes. So I've still got the feed pipe. Let's just take that out for a second. I know where that one locates. So that's basically it for the cylinder head. Obviously I've got the guides to go in, valves to go in, but I just want to get a mock-up of how it would look. Then I know what parts are going where. That's the easy bit. Obviously I still need to find the actual throttle body. It's probably connected to the cables. So I've still got that box. Might be it there actually. But no, that's actually quite pleased with how that's gone. Just sifting through boxes, just finding the parts, having a look. Right, I've actually just worked out, because these weren't marked out, they're actually, I had them round the wrong way. Because obviously they're the main oil feed. So as it sits in the bike that way, obviously that'll be the front with the exhaust. There's two dome nuts which will have the oil feed. The oil feed's already connected to the bike still. Right, so I can move this now to one side. I want to just have a quick look through some of the other ones. Right, managed to find the clutch as well. Dug out the fiche picture for that. So everything seems to be, with the exception of the nut and the washers. So everything seems to be there. Also found that plate, not quite sure where that's from, but that's another piece assembled. I did actually find some of the new cam follower to replace these ones, because that one's missing an end. So there are 4 brand new ones. Also laid out the oil pump. Not quite sure if they're part of it or not. Didn't actually see them in the diagram, but they were actually with it, so unless they're the top end. But again, I've got plenty of research to do, but I just wanted to get parts laid out on the bench, have a quick mock-up, see how it goes together, see what parts are involved. I've gone through practically everything. That is now just literally miscellaneous nuts, bolts, footrests, etc. All the boxes I've got down here is in the clear ones, some of the stuff that actually came off that was old and being replaced, and all the other boxes are marked and labelled, and that's just some cases. So I've got a side panel and a couple of the side cases and the points case. I've given them a quick clean, I've just wrapped them up for now. And as I say, obviously the main crankcase itself. And I also need to investigate what's actually on there, because the oil tank's in there. But we'll take that up in the next episode. I say hopefully next episode we'll just be moving through, trying to piece together all the bits of the puzzle, and then we can start getting into actually assembly. As I said, the cases need to be heated up to get the 2 big bearings in place, but I need to make sure I've got all the parts, which I'm not finding at the moment, but as I say, there is more to go through. But no, pleased with how everything's gone. Actual follower tubes I've just put in place, one at the front, one at the back. That's a pretty engine, I must admit. But say, I've got plenty of reading material, so I'll be going through these as I go, learning as I go. This is fantastic. I'm loving this. But that should do for today. Right, so thanks for joining me on that one. As I say, this is a big learning experience, a big learning curve. As I say, if anybody's ever done this before, worked on a TR6 or similar engine, 650cc, let me know in the comments box below. I appreciate all your comments, all your feedback. It is piecing together nicely at the moment. It's just trying to work out exactly what parts. I did actually manage to find the camshafts, which is good, because I know they're actually inside the engine. It comes up from the bottom. So again, I'll keep researching. Again, appreciate all your comments, all your support. It means so much. Big thank you to my patrons. You help me so much. I probably don't thank you enough, but I say you guys are absolutely brilliant. There are links to other videos at the end of the video. Join me again in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.